Today we're going to get into what's called percent composition. So by the end of this, we want to be able to determine the percent composition of compounds. So what percent composition is basically you're able to use this to determine what percentage an element makes out of the entire compound. So this is usually done comparing the masses of the elements to the compound. So the steps to finding the percent composition of a compound is relatively simple. It is like you would imagine if I'm finding the percentage of one piece compared to the whole, I have to take the proportions of each one. So if we're doing this by mass, then we essentially first got to find out what the molar mass of the compound is. Secondly, we have to take the total mass an element makes up of the compound and just divide that by the total mass of the compound. That way we have our ratio or proportion here. We then take whatever quantity that is, multiply by 100 in order to turn it into a percentage, and then we just repeat the steps for every element present in the compound. That way we can get a breakdown of the different elements and what they contribute towards the overall compound. Okay, so let's take a look here for this example of CH4. We want to determine the percent composition of CH4, meaning that we're going to find what percentage each element of CH4 contributes to the entire molecule. So the first step is to determine the molar mass of methane, CH4. So carbon has a mass of 12.01 grams per mole. Hydrogen has a mass of 1.01 gram per mole. But in CH4, there are 4 hydrogens. So hydrogen really contributes a mass of 4.04 gram per mole. And so the sum here, kind of adding these together, gives methane a mass of 16.05 gram per mole. So if I'm going to determine the percent composition of hydrogen, okay, this is going to equal to the mass of hydrogen. So we're taking the total mass here. Okay, so hydrogen is not making up just 1 gram of methane, it's making up 4 grams of it. So we've got 4.04 gram per mole, and we're going to just divide that by the total here. Okay, so the percent composition of hydrogen is going to be 4.04 divided by 16.05, and then we're just going to multiply that by 100, and we get that it's 75.3%. Sorry, this is the other one. That this is actually 25.3%. Okay. So then determining the mass of C, same exact thing. Okay, carbon makes up 12.01 gram per mole out of 16.05 gram per mole times 100, and carbon makes up 74.7%. And there you have it. That's really all there is to it. We just have to do this for every single element. An alternative way for the carbon is, or basically for any of the final elements, we know that if we're talking about the entire molecule, that these percentages should add up to 100%. So we also could have just subtracted 100 from 25.3 to get the remainder of carbon. But that's really all there is to percent composition. Now we essentially know the breakdown of methane and how the elements kind of contribute towards that.